Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show. It has been a while. Welcome back, baby. Let's get some more bets here. We've got 5 plays on the day for you, 4 player props, and a side, actually a total that I'm looking at here in this 8-game slate that we have on Wednesday. Let's get right into it. I don't have much more to say about it. I'll go over the record and all that kind of stuff here after we get into these picks. Number 1, Tyus Jones. We're going under 9.5 assists for my man on the Wiz. And I got to say, I love this bet so much, especially because it's at minus 150 on MGM. I'm throwing 1.5 units on it because I want to win a full unit back on this bet that I feel super confident with. This is an inflated number. That's where I start with it. He's had some really nice assist totals as of late. 10 against the Cavs, 17 against the Warriors, and 11 against the Lakers. And then you look at the last couple games, 9 against the Clips, and then failed to get close to this number against the Utah Jazz, who actually allow a ton of assists to point guards. So I do think this is super inflated as a result of all that. And you're going to find a lot of 8.5s on a lot of books right now as well. And those are going to be plus money for the under at 8.5 assists. So if you want to take under 8.5, I don't hate that as well, but I love 9.5 under. So that's why I put the extra little bit on it, the extra half unit, really. He's gone under in all 3 versus Orlando with Washington. Went under he was with the Grizzlies as well, but he wasn't the starter then. So we really more care about what he's doing here this season with the Wizards, and easily under. In fact, he didn't even get 9 potential assists or 10 potential assists that he would need to get up above this number. You can get an assist without it being a potential assist. So there are some times where you'll see guys' numbers at like 7 potential assists and 8 assists, right? You can actually get more assists than potential assists. But most importantly, you're not likely to get an assist unless you have a potential assist, because you pass it to a guy in the situation where he either only takes 1 dribble or he shoots right after the catch, etc., right? So those 7.3 potential assists in the 3 games he's played doesn't really make you feel good about him getting 10 in this one, or even really 9 in this one if you wanted to take under 8.5, like I said. Orlando allows the 4th fewest assists to point guards. They allow the 4th fewest assists, or top 5 in limiting assists on the season overall. And that's because of that defense that really is incredible as soon as you step inside of the 3-point line, which is actually why players who at the point guard position and of Tyus Jones's profile type, like his shooting profile and his scoring profile, they score a lot against Orlando. They allow the 3rd most points per game to point guards because they're not quite as good outside against the 3-point line. I will also say, though, that Markelle Fultz is back in this game. And when Markelle Fultz is in, the Orlando Magic's defensive rating on the season is 109 versus when he's out, 114.5. So Markelle Fultz has mattered a ton to the overall defense and slow pace for the Orlando Magic, who are playing at about a 92.5 pace over their last 10 games. And since coming back from the All-Star break, the Wizards playing at the fastest pace, but this is a Magic team that should be asserting its will against the Wizards. Second night of a back-to-back for them. They're probably going to be missing a lot of shots. That's the reason I didn't even really want to mess with rebounds or anything like that. I just love under 9.5 dimes for Tyus Jones. Second favorite bet that I do love as well here, DeMar DeRozan over 24.5 points. It's a bit high considering that we've seen his number at about 22.5 consistently when he plays against good defensive teams. But this Utah team has not been a very good defensive team as of late, and especially not against the exact shot type that we're going to see from DeMar DeRozan. And I should say shot types, multiple, because not only is he the mid-range god, if you will, that's what he does. He shoots everything from mid-range, the most in on his team, certainly, and top 3 in the league in terms of percentage of his shots that he's shooting from the mid-range. They also are giving up a ton of free throws, and I love that for DeMar, who's actually really been going to the basket lately, getting 9.3 free throw attempts per game since the All-Star break, right? And Utah is allowing the 3rd worst, like 3rd highest opponent free throw attempt rate since the All-Star break, and in their last 5 in general, they've been awful, just fouling everybody, giving up like nearly 30 free throw attempts per game. So that's why you see a guy like DeMar coming in and has had success against Utah in general. The thing about the mid-range for him is this team is actually pretty good at defending the 3 for Utah. They're also pretty good down low because they have Walker Kessler in there. We've got Lauri Markkanen and John Collins, both pretty good at down low defenders, right? Also really good at limiting rebounds, that kind of stuff. But once you get inside the 3 and you're in that mid-range area, this team will allow you to do it. Walker Kessler does not come out and defend that well. John Collins doesn't defend that well anyway, to be honest with you. I'm really not impressed with him, other than the rebounding numbers that were okay and have kind of dropped back down for him. But more importantly for DeMar, love him to get the points here at 24.5. Chicago probably going to keep this thing choppy and slow, but he's taking about 22 shots a game right now. So we've got to take him to get the 24.5 points if he's going to get near 20 shot attempts, especially if he's going to get 9 free throw attempts. That's gold for us with DeMar DeRozan. Now we've got 3 bets from the same game, and the first one is just about the game, and I'm going under 239.5 in this one, minus 110 there with a full unit. And I mean, this might sound silly, but there's just such a clear difference between when these two teams play in LA versus when they play in Sacramento. The last 3 where they played this game in LA, where it is tonight, 231 average on the total, three straight unders. And this is the last 6 games dating back to last season. That's why I chose the last 3 for each, right? It's 2 this season, 4 last season. The last 3 at SAC, 1 this year, 2 last year, 261 average, right? We're talking, and really the Kings, by the way, have been winning this matchup, especially in LA, winning the last 3 games against the Lakers and keeping it, but they've scored about $120 a game, but the Lakers have only scored about $111 against this Kings team at home, for whatever reason. Now, the Kings are better on defense away from home. They give up about 115 points per game away from their building versus about 121 in their building. And they're also scoring more, about 121, 122 when they play at home versus 115 on the road. They've been the definition of a 500 basketball team, even though they're slightly above it right now, because they're giving up the same amount of points as they are scoring pretty much on the entire season. Everything here for SAC and adds up, right? Like SAC at home, SAC on the road, the Lakers at home, rather, I should say, they both average 231 in these positions, whereas SAC is scoring that 242 at home and 238 on the road for the Lakers versus the 231 that the games average when they play in their own arena. And that's heavily based on the fact that they just play so much better defense when they play at home versus on the road. That 111 defensive rating in their own building versus 119 away from it. So I don't think that there's going to be nearly as many points, yet somehow my next 2 bets are overs, including for the Kang James, LeBron, over 25.5 points, going with a full unit on him to get the 26 here at minus 120 on FanDuel. He's gone over in the last 6 versus Sacramento, dating back to last season in these regular season games. He's actually also gone over in 5 of 6 since the All-Star break, other than last game where he was killing the Thunder in that game, as did the Lakers. That's why he didn't really need to score in the fourth quarter or really play at all. He took 3 shots in the fourth. He played less than 6 minutes in that fourth quarter because they were up by 17 going into that quarter against the Thunder, who just did not bring it that night, to be honest. And really, right now, we're talking about a team that in Sacramento that just doesn't defend LeBron or his type of player, which there aren't very many of. When you look at his size, strength, speed, just everything that makes LeBron LeBron, they're allowing the 3rd most points per game, though, to his shot profile. Like, where is he shooting the ball most consistently from? Where he's shooting the ball most consistently is from the rim, right around it, right? He's got the 5th, the SAC allows the 5th highest rim field goal percentage in the league. LeBron is taking all of his shots either from right inside the paint or a couple threes as of late, but mostly everything going to the rim because he's also scoring in transition, which is what I think he'll continue to do here against this Kings team, who has been better on defense and in transition on defense when they play away from their building. But now when it comes to stopping LeBron, that's why he's gone over so consistently against this team over this number of 20, at least 26 points, like I expect him to get tonight. So just based on how poorly they're playing defense down low are the Kings, allowing the basically the highest field goal percentage in the league to their opponents this season in the last 5. Also, just everybody's going to the rim against them because they know that's where they're vulnerable. They've got the most shots against them inside the paint there over the last 5, and that's been pretty consistent on the season, like top 5 in terms of allowing a ton of shots from inside the paint. So we'll take LeBron to get his in that one. If you like AD and you want to throw him in there as well, he's had success too. I just think LeBron, when he plays this team at home especially, loves going up against SAC, and he'll continue to have a lot of success against them tonight. So has D Fox in the reverse matchup there, where he's playing against this Kings team, or excuse me, this Lakers team, I got to take the assist. Now, he's going to be a guy that a lot of people are taking tonight. They're going to like the points. I think it's gone up because it's at 27.5 now. It opened at about 25.5, 26.5. So I expect D Fox to continue to do well against them. But I'm targeting the assists right now because of the way he's been playing the last 8 games, especially since the All-Star break, right? Now, he's gone over in 7 of his last 8. He's got 11.6 potential assists in that time frame. So look, man, like if you're telling me he's basically at 12 potential assists per game and he needs to get 6, I like that 50% mark for a team that has a really solid effective field goal percentage right now for the Kings, especially down low, right? And that's down low and in the threes, especially corner threes, is where the Lakers have been super vulnerable. Also really vulnerable against above the break threes for LA. They've just not been a good defensive team against three-pointers all season long. Same problem that they had last year. They're just getting outscored on the three-point line so much right now that, like, I'll take D Fox to be able to find guys in the corners. That's where he's finding guys. By the way, the majority of his assists are either coming on the three-pointer as he drives and dishes out, which, by the way, this team has the second best corner three-point percentage in the league because Keegan Murray and Harrison Barnes are knocking them down from out there. Not to mention Malik Monk when he gets at there, although he's scoring from all over the floor. Malik Monk's just crazy. But either way, more importantly, he's not even really diming up Malik Monk. It's like I said, it's those wings or Domas down low or whomever is in that dunker spot for the Kings. Dunker spot is basically right next to the block. So you come in and the point is you get a ball, you get a pass, and you don't even need to dribble it. You're just already able to dunk it from where you're standing. Drop step, boom, right? And that's what we've seen from the guys getting these dimes from De'Aaron Fox. LA is allowing the second most assists per game, 2 point guards in their last 7. They're bad on the season as well. They give up the 5th most assists per game on the season as a whole in general. So they're not rotating well, that's for sure. And that's in part because they don't have the wings to rotate. Everybody's hurt all the time right now. I believe Cam Reddish is back, which is good for them because he is a long-rangey defender on the wing. But Taurean Prince has been underwhelming on defense this season. Gabe Vincent would be much better for them at the point of attack than D'Lo, and he'd still be giving up minutes to D'Lo. But because D'Lo is playing so much because he's shooting so well and passing so well, it's a huge reason for why they're so bad against guys like De'Aaron Fox who are able to get into the lane and do what they want. Sac is getting into the lane a lot right now. Their paint frequency is in the top 5 over the course of the last 5 and 10 games, however you want to split those numbers up for them. And LA has had bad paint defense pretty much on the season, which is somewhat surprising because AD is having like a stellar defensive season. Yet somehow, especially in the last 5, this team is giving up, I believe that the bottom 5 rather, field goal percentage to their opponent inside the paint. Teams aren't going in there quite as much, but when they get in there, they're scoring. And D Fox is someone who will take advantage of that all day by getting by whomever is the defender on him. There's really no good matchup, which is why he's done this so consistently against LA pretty much since last season and in this season, right? 5 of the 6 games, he's gone over this number versus the Lakers. So I feel really good about him doing that tonight. I want to make sure I'm not wrong. I think he actually has done it in 6 in a row instead of just the 5 out of 6 that I gave him credit for. And it is, no, it's 5 out of 6. All right, I was right. So 5 out of 6 of them. Either way, I love this number for him. I do think 6 is right around where I put it. I know I got to eat the juice on it, but actually getting 7 assists scares me a bit more. I'm almost like, look, if you want to take the 5.5, take it. If you don't, then put a little bit less on the 6.5 and get plus money at like plus 115 on a couple books for him to get the 6 assists. If you're playing like prize picks and that kind of stuff in the DFS or just regular, the fantasy that they play here, that like prize pool and underdog, etc., you're basically going to be looking at what I would imagine is over 6.5 or under 6.5. I don't love that number unless you're getting really good juice on it. So I would rather take that 6.5 at a book, regular sports book, where I get plus money for him to get 7. And at that point, fuck it, just go to like 9 or 10, right? Why not? So that's all the time I got for you. Let's look at the quick best bet summary here. I do want to remind you before I get into it, because I do want to show you the record and the picks. Subscribe to the page if you would. We are back. We're coming back with a vengeance. Going to come back tonight with another video with projections for tomorrow. And that's how we're doing it moving forward, as we've been doing it beforehand. Also going to start getting into some live stream stuff with you guys. Probably going to put this show on a live stream and then just put it up on demand for you later as well. But want to start getting some of you guys into the stream here and talk about what you're betting, get some questions. Maybe we have a little bit of a back and forth, get some guests on as well. So we'll start doing more of that stuff. Just stay tuned. For today, 5.5 units that we're risking to win 4.9. Tyus Jones, like we said, under 9.5 assists, favorite bet of the day. DDR, DeMar DeRozan, over 24.5. Sac in LA to go under 240, yet LeBron's going to get 26 and De'Aaron Fox is going to get over 5.5 assists, left you decimal there with the 0.5. So that's the summary for today. Quick look at how we did a while ago. This is from Thursday, February 22nd. Just want to make sure you know, put half a unit on all these things because I was pretty much already on vacation, but I was also looking at this stuff already on that last day that I did it. So wanted to at least put half a unit on everything. Only went 3-3 in the props, but 2-0 in the sides and totals, as you can see all the bets that we put together there. And that means that we are still up now because we made basically a unit that day, 24.3 on the season. Did lose a little bit on the player props, so still at about 32 units up on the season with the player props alone. And the sides and totals make me so happy because we were at about minus 10.9 units on sides and totals as recently as a month ago. And we are back, baby, minus 1.9 on a nice streak here, 34-30. So we are back there. Haven't thrown any many parlays your way, but that's going to be the point of the live stream, is to get some of that live stuff your way. Ladders and totals, ladder totals as well. We want to get that up. So gonna have a bit more fun with the live stream bets, but make sure that we're getting these course things out to you because I want winners. That's all I care about, right? So appreciate y'all following along. That is, like I said, all the time. Oaks is still going strong with UCL, the UEFA Champions League, as well as college hoops, man. I'm going to be doing some more college hoops with him as we get into it. Also want to say we got baseball coming up, and I'm going to be doing baseball every single day as well, and getting as much of that out to you as I can. I don't want to sacrifice the projection videos the night before. As I said, 2 videos the night before. We're getting one out with projections for the next day's games, a few picks in there, and then always noon. Getting out late today, but noon on West Coast, 3 p.m. on the East Coast is as late as I really want to go when I can, getting you guys these actual final picks that I made. So appreciate y'all. Jump in those comments. Let me know what you guys think. Happy to be back. And until I see you next, happy betting.